Summer's finally here, so today I'm gonna do a whole summer setup and try to get a good summer routine going. I'm gonna set up a few things around the house. I've got a morning basket. I'm gonna get their art bins back in order, maybe restock the fridge. I've got a few summer snacks to share with you if you're looking for like a cutesy little idea to make for the kiddos. Ooh, also some organizing things, and I have to get our beach/pool bag together because last time we went to the beach, I spent like all morning getting our bag together and I was like, what? Literally, it drove me insane. So I'm hoping to like get some things in order so I'm not running all around the house whenever we're going somewhere. See if it actually works out. The first thing I'm gonna put together though is the summer bucket list. So let me grab very simple poster board, some markers, let's go. I wrote down a few ideas to jot down and make a summer bucket list. My older two girls already made one for themselves, but this is for like the whole family. And it's just a good visual representation of like, hey, these are all the things we wanted to do this summer. Let's try to check off as many things as possible. So that's what I'm gonna fill out. I'll share with you all of the ideas that I throw on this summer bucket list. It's something we've been doing for a few years now. Summer, fall, winter, whatever season you like, make a bucket list. It's fun. Okay, so I thought I'd share with you all of the ideas that we threw on here. And actually, I should have gotten a clip of the bucket lists that my two older girls put together on their own. They have their own summer goals and summer plans, you know what I mean, that differ from the family plans. So they had their own poster boards, and honestly, they look so much better than mine. And I am jealous. I'm like, you guys are so much more creative. And also, just the cool factor that they have. I'm so proud of them. They're so amazing. But here it is for our family. And you can put any ideas that you want on here. It doesn't have to be like, go to this place or spend money on this thing. It could simply be like picnic at the park or, what I want to do is pasta night. And I forgot to put that on the board. So I'll share with you what we have. We've got sunset cruise, which basically just means like on the lake, get on a boat and cruise around, totally free. Family movie night, totally free if you've got a streaming service, you know what I mean? And we do that anyway. We've actually done it already so many times this summer, more times than I can count. Brownie Friday, of course, is a given. That's just an easy one to check off the list. Oh, I did put fancy spaghetti dinner. Buy a pool. Can I borrow some money for that? We're so excited. We had someone come out last week or the week before to give us a quote, an updated one, because we had someone out, when we first moved in, maybe a couple years ago, but we were doing the addition, and that's a whole story and a half. Let me continue on the list. I'm diving off into, my short story longs. Okay, we've got crumble cookie. That's an expensive night. At Island Busch Gardens, we have passes to those, which isn't free, but we need to continually use them throughout the summertime, because we pay for it. Disney trip, which we are going to Orlando. That's our summer vacation. We don't know how many more times we'll do that, so we're going to take advantage of it and maybe go to Disney. We have yet to buy the tickets, so hopefully soon. Typhoon Lagoon is a water park. Blizzard Beach, also a water park. Aquatica, also a water park. Splash Pad, easy trip. Picnic at the park. Glacier Kids Museum, which our kids go to very often. A beach trip, whether that's a day or a few days. We're actually still deciding. You guys, we normally do a whole week at the beach with our timeshare, but it got ruined in the hurricane. So we're looking for another affordable option. Hard to come by on the beach. Summer party, check. Look for seashells at the beach, sidewalk chalk, bake cookies, make popsicles, 4th of July bash, watch fireworks, make s'mores, go fishing, read a book, create a time capsule, make ices, make cotton candy, eat at a new restaurant, make a new friend, family game night, get chickens, personal goal, water balloon fight, make a craft, weekend farmers market, geocaching, do a science experiment, volunteer, host a lemonade stand, dude ranch, Avelina goes there, DIY pizza night, tie-dye something, back to school haircuts, back to school shopping, make bouncy balls, do a science project, so nice, I labeled it twice, shaving cream fight with a question mark, not sure I added that, hair wraps, 90s vacation style, if you got some, it's not yarn, it's just string. Like if you have a make your own bracelets kit, do that with your hair. I'm like really excited about that. That's something I used to love doing. My kids have mentioned it. I saw a post about it on Instagram and I was like adding that to the list. That just seems so awesome and fun and low effort, you know, if you think about it. So really exciting things on this list. And then I did elicit the help of Eleanor to create some artwork and make the list a little bit more fancy. Theirs still looks way better. It's configured completely differently, but here's our list. Let me know what's on your list. Next up, I want to get their morning basket in order. I made this for last summer, and I was pretty good about bringing it out every morning. Summer mornings are a lot slower. And last summer, I put together a little basket of things to occupy them. It's learning supplies, like fun things for them to do. Just something to keep them out of my hair a little bit while I'm making breakfast. Trying to get my life in order just a little bit. So these are the remnants. A couple of fun activities. Melissa and Doug sticker wow. This is a Melissa and Doug like reusable stickers. I don't know where all of the stickers went. We've got paint with water. This is supposed to be holding all of the paint brushes because there's also another activity in here. It's splash cards on the go instead of flashcards. Really cute. Also a great summer fun activity because it involves water, and anything that involves water is a yes for the kids. Normally I just lay a towel down on our little coffee table here and I'll put these cards out and the kids will just take the paintbrushes, dip them in water. And when you do, the cards reveal like numbers and colors and they're just really cool. We like them. I got them from the thrift store, but I'm sure they have them everywhere. I mean, I say they have them everywhere, but you know what I was looking for everywhere? We used to have it, but over the years we lost, I want to say 1, if not 2 letters, and I don't know, I was in a declutter mood. I 1000% regret getting rid of this, even though we were missing at least 1 letter, maybe 2, I can't remember. But it was the lowercase Melissa and Doug wood board. I had it when Avelina was little, so I've had it forever. I only decluttered it a couple of years ago. In this house, I'm pretty sure we've moved with it. The ice cream was lost because she used to carry it around. That was fine, but I would like to have another one of those to practice letters with Wolfgang. Lowercase is key, and I feel like when they have the uppercase and lowercase, it can be a little confusing, but I did get this again. This was something I've had since Avelina was basically born, and over the years, you know, it got gunky, it got ruined, it got stepped on and broken and all the things, but it is the letter puzzle. A couple of stamp set activities for them, and you can just call me Mrs. Whisk because, listen, I was looking for morning basket ideas and I got real inspired by someone who had this. I was like, am I about to have a little classroom? The answer to that is yes. I want to get them excited. This is mostly for Wolfgang, but also for Meredith too. It's got the days of the week. I think it has the months of the year. It's got the seasons, the weather, all the important things that you need to know. And I just thought this was so darling. So I'm gonna hang this beauty up somewhere just so they can wake up and fiddle around with it. Oh my gosh, it even has the years. Wow, that's really funny. Make your guesses right now, see how long this will stick before we lose all the numbers. I'm gonna try my best. I also like to throw just some books in the morning basket too for the kids to read or read with me or practice reading, all the good stuff. Oh, and their workbooks. This is probably the most important. This is from last year. The letter tracing, I'm gonna print another one of these up for Wolfgang just so he can write on his letters, but this is a great way to do it. This laminate sheet, they sell at the Dollar Tree, they sell at the Target dollar spot, and you can put any piece of paper you want in here. It's fantastic if you're working on a certain activity. I always like to do their name. It's the first thing they're going to need to learn how to, you know, write and spell and all that good stuff. These are the workbooks. They're IXL related, and I'm gonna just shove those into the basket as well. I like learning activities, and I recently got this. I shared a whole like summer camp mom haul. So this is one of those pieces I'll throw in the morning basket. This is what we already had. It's good that I have 2 because the 2 littlest ones are the ones who are always up at the crack of dawn anyway. This one does have the lowercase letters and they're magnetic, so this will satisfy us for now. So I'll throw those in there, just probably under there. Oh, and then I have like counting bears. Does this come with tongs? It does. Why did I buy a whole bunch of extra tongs? Unnecessary. I didn't see those in here, so we'll probably fiddle around with these too, so I'll throw those in there. A couple years ago, I put together a Play-Doh bin, and we use this so much. It has a little caddy in here, and I just bought a bunch of Melissa and Doug like Play-Doh accessories, rolling pins, these little doodads. There's like little stampers in here with shapes and stuff. I also have a silicone mat for them to roll out just so it doesn't get anything all gunky. And I throw the Play-Doh, there's random bits and bobs normally get stuck down here. I have like the ice cream accessories too, that's fine. But I did get some Play-Doh from IKEA, so I'm gonna shove that in here just to freshen it up during summertime. Perfect. I don't know why they make these boxes so big, but I am going to take this out of the box because it's not like a storage box. I guess you could use it as a storage box, but it doesn't have a lid. That's the one thing that does annoy me about Melissa and Doug things. But I'm just gonna throw all the stamps in here and they can go crazy. We do have more stamps. I'm gonna have to look for those just to keep them all in the same spot. And then I got another ink pad for it, and I think they're gonna have a little bit of fun with that. I always have stocked under here. It's a little messy, but that's how life goes. I've got some more workbooks, some sight words down here that we can grab and work with. This is one of our favorite games, if you're wondering. The Spot It, we have the Disney edition. We play that a lot with the little ones. I've got flashcards and stickers, paint brushes, crayons, and then I've got markers, scissors, math cubes, glue sticks, and pencils down there. Oh, and there's construction paper down here too. So that's what they could stamp with. And I'll just shove the morning basket in here, and then I can easily pull it out, and it's perfect. Play-Doh goes right next to it. Awesome. And I'll throw these right on top, just for easy access. My kids love having this morning basket option, and it doesn't always have to be for morning. It's just like, hey, is it the lull of the day? Are you guys bored? Let's pull it out and find a fun activity for you guys to play with. They love also playing with the Play-Doh, and I would say those bins are so fantastic. I didn't refresh their art bins yet. I have some arts and crafts to refresh their art bins, but for the most part, I kind of just put all their arts and crafts supplies all together. Like, they don't have separate bins. They just kind of have all the art supplies upstairs. So reconfiguring those bins for different things, like the Play-Doh bin, you know? So I might have like a painting bin. So rather than having like individual bins for each child, the bin will be for a specific craft idea. You know what I mean? Bracelet making, stamps, whatever the case may be. But this is so much fun. Also a little fun idea I forgot to put in the morning basket, but you can use ChatGPT, or there's like, you can just Google, you can turn any picture into a coloring page. And I think that is just so fun. So I did a couple of those. Took some pictures of the kiddos, and I just think they're so darling. Can you even see them? How funny. Mine printed double-sided, but that was an oversight. But I just thought those were so darling. So this could be a fun little activity for kids, or like even a birthday party or something, you know? All right, you guys know summertime equals beach time, which usually we spend a ton of time on the beach, but also splash pads, pools, all the water activities, because unless we're submerged in water, we're turning into ash. It's that hot outside. Usually this is us walking into the splash pad. And then Alex also has like 17 bags. And I'm like, can we condense this a little bit? Like, something isn't working out here. Usually we've got a cooler full of snacks and food. Part of me was just like, Kim, get an IKEA bag. And usually that's what I use, because that thing holds a ton. I also have some beach accessories to share with you that I'm pretty excited about. But this, I was influenced. I almost wasn't. I saw it a couple of months ago, and I was like, oh, that's very cool. And I was just gonna tell you about it. And then I was like, you know what? I feel like I should test it out for you. Be your little guinea pig here. First of all, check. Second of all, the price is right for this one. I follow some higher end people, and they were sharing, I forgot the brand, but Land's End, possibly. I feel like maybe it was this big, perhaps not quite this big, was a lot cuter, depending on what emblem you had created on it. This is fit and fresh. I liked a few things about it that I saw. First of all, it has a zipper closure. The IKEA bag does not. And this bag is without a zipper closure. So as you can surmise, if I'm putting the bag down and it falls over a little bit, everything's coming out with it, okay? Unless it's completely jam-packed, in which case everything is just like sardines in there and then nothing moves. But even in that case, it's hard to sift through, okay? Got a lot of problems that I need to find solutions for, and I'm hoping this is gonna solve all my problems, okay? Isn't that why we buy things? I am curious to see if this bag is bigger than this one. Right off the bat, yeah, a little bit, looks a little bit. So we'll see if I could shove everything I want in here. I do like that it has a long handle, short handle, and then there's also pockets on the inside that I wasn't aware of. So, you know my number one hack for packing stuff for the beach, if you're going anywhere that requires a towel, I'm always bringing these, especially if you're going to like a theme park where it's like you go there and they also have like a splash pad that your kids are gonna wanna go into, but you don't wanna bring like the whole kit and caboodle. These are fantastic. They're camping towels. They're absorbent. They actually do what they say. They're not like super cozy, comfy. If you're gonna be sailing on a boat and you need something to like bundle up with, this isn't it, but it will get the job done and it's super compact. These are 3 towels. Like I can pack 5 and it's less than the size of 1 towel would take up in a bag. So this is my number 1 tip. You guys, I have bags inside of bags because this is how I pack things. This is how I try to organize. I'm like a type D mom en route to becoming a type A. It'll never happen, but let a gal dream. Anyway, this I think is my summer beach bag that I bought last year. Not a huge fan. The bottom, I thought it was cool. I never utilized this feature. The bottom unzips fully to become an ice pack. They're like a cooler. You could pack a lot down there, but it's not very sensible to like unzip it all and then like trying to finagle it to zip it back in when you're leaving. It's too much and I never use it. Not as practical as I thought it would be. So I thought I would share that review with you and let this one go because it is, when you type in beach bag on Amazon, that's one of the first ones to pop up. Towels going in, literally doesn't even make a dent. I did get a couple fun new beach items that I thought I'd share with you. We have water cards, which are like just waterproof cards. We also have the Uno version. My kids love them. They enjoy them. We bring them to the beach house. We bring them all over the place, which we are not going to the beach house this year, and I could literally cry. It's our first time. Since Avelina was born, Alex has been going there his entire life. The hurricane last year took her straight out. So it's really upsetting, but life goes on. This one is the Spot It version, and my kids love this. It's not a Disney version, but I don't know how they do it. I don't know the science behind getting this. Okay, so let me tell you, you get 2 cards, you get a stack of cards, pick 2 out. Only 1 item on those 2 cards will match. You will find 1 match. Take a card away, put another one up. Only 1 item will match. How do they, logically, it doesn't make sense. We've been through the deck hundreds of times. Only 1 item matches. I cannot figure it out. People smarter than me clearly put this game together, and this is a waterproof version, so I was really happy to find it. I think it's sold out, I'm so sorry, or on back order or something, but they might have other versions of that. Okay, I saw these and I was like, heck yeah, my kids are gonna love those. You throw them in the ocean and the waves bring them back to you. Piggybacking off of that, sharing a little haul here, I guess, is a surfer that we saw last time we were at the beach. You know, kids end up playing together, they play with each other's toys, you kind of just leave them at the shore. And you know, kids come and go. There was one toy that my kids, you know, were playing with and I was like, oh, I should probably look that up. The mom was like, yeah, I got that off Amazon. I was like, bet. Let me search. Oh, it's $25. So I was like, I don't think my kids liked it that much, but it was very cool. It was a surfer, different styles, girl, boy, different colors. You throw it in the ocean, it flips up and surfs back to shore. It was very cool. I have yet to buy it. We'll see if I get it before the summer's over. I just kept thinking like, I have so many other toys that are coming, you know, because I had already placed this order. Because our first trip to the beach this season, I realized yeah, we need some toys. This I saw was very cool. You just put it in the water and you can see the bottom of the ocean. You could see. And I just think this is a really cool way. I don't like to go physically underwater. I don't like goggles. I have a thing with going underwater. It's from childhood. It's fine. Maybe I'll bring you out in the lake and we can try to see some tadpoles or something. I just think this is so cool for like looking for shells, for looking at the fish, looking for sand dollars at the sand. I don't know if this will get you deep enough for that. But I just thought this was so cool, especially for a toddler who, you know, maybe a little weary about completely submerging themselves underwater. But anyway, you just go down. I thought this was so stinking cool. So I'm gonna test this out in the lake. Really excited to bring that to the beach. And I'm excited about bringing this to the the beach. This was another item that had been in my cart for a while, and I was like, nah, nah, nah. And then I was like, you know who's gonna love this? Every single one of my kids, okay? It is a beach aquarium here. Catch and release style. The top has a bunch of holes. Whether you're looking for crabs or fish, you could fill it up with water, put some fish in there. You can fill it up with sand and then water. If you find sand dollars that are alive, you cannot take those home, but maybe you just wanna check them out while you're hanging out on the beach. You can throw them in here and just like, you know, watch them. I thought this was such a cool find, and it's very cool. It's plastic. I feel like this will last, like it seems pretty durable, and the nice foam handle I think will help it float if it finds its way to water. And then of course you can't go anywhere without your sand sifters, okay? You're looking for buried treasure. If you have a metal detector, this is a great one. I don't know why I picked this corner to show you things. Everything's a mess behind me. I can barely move, but here we are. If you have a like cat litter scooper, I feel like this is very similar to that. But the difference with this compared to like the one you might get in a bundle of sand toys is that these are gonna last a lot longer. I mean, depending on how rough you are with your toys. But the plastic ones seem to break, especially when they're exposed to salt water a ton. So I'm excited about these. These seem really quality, and they did come with a couple of like shelling bags. I don't need to pack those. My kids have their own shelling bags, which we really love. I'll link the ones below that my kids have used for multiple years, and they have a nice zipper closure. So if you're walking the shore collecting seashells, which is one of our favorite things to do, they'll stay safe, and it has holes in the bag, so all the sand, you can shake it out. It's really nice. And then I found this. Hey, who remembers making drip drop castles? It's one of my favorite pastimes at the beach. So you fill this part up with sand, you fill this part up with water, and then you literally, I just thought this was so fun and such a cute little activity, especially for little hands. It brought back the nostalgia, and I was like, add to cart. I did think about it for a while, and then I finally just said, let's do it. And it comes with a little shovel that I thought was funny, so you can sift the sand in here too. So we'll see if my kids enjoy this as much as I think that they're going to. Either last year or the year before, I got roped into buying the elastic bands to like hold your towel to the chair. I never use these, but I pack them anyway. This is a sand brush. It comes with 2 brushes. I think the other one is in the van actually, because we actually use this a ton to just like brush off your feet before you get in the car. Oh my gosh, this might fit my face too. Whoa, haha, the suction on this is wild. You don't even have to put it around your head. I was gonna have Eleanor demonstrate these, but that's crazy. It just sticks on you. You know what we should get? We should find a snorkel. If you have a good snorkel, it's so suctiony, it kind of hurts. You think I look silly? So water parks around us, I think you can bring goggles, but they cannot have the nose piece, and these are really nice. I'm glad that I found these. Someone on Instagram was raving about them, and I was like, oh, really? But yeah, really. We'll see how they actually hold up underwater, but they seem like a lot better quality than something like this, you know? Because sometimes, especially with smaller faces, like that fit Eleanor's tiny face and my face, which to be fair is on the smaller side. I should have Alex come try that on. But something like this, sometimes water, you know, it doesn't like form completely to the face, so sometimes my kids are like, water's coming in, and it's rough, so I don't think that's gonna happen with these. Pack the rest of the bag. I have a bunch of sunscreens in here. My favorite sunscreen, not sure where it is that they currently maintain, is the Sun Bum Face Spray. My favorite one for my face, obviously. See how these are like all rubbery? Not my kids' favorite. They'll use them, but I really like these. Oh my God, hold on. Let me show you my kids' favorite goggles. These are our favorite goggles. They have a nice like thick fabric band. We bought these a few years ago. I think at least 2 years ago, and we really like these. Some of our favorites. Okay, my favorite face sunscreen is the Sun Bum Face Mist. Best one by a mile. And then as for like the body, I've tried every brand. They're all the same, I feel like. And you can never have enough sunscreen at the beach. Remember, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, we got those patches. A little review here. You put it on, it's like purple. You put sunscreen over it, it's supposed to become invisible. It's not. You can still see a tint of purple, and then it's supposed to like become purple again when it's time to reapply. They fell off before I could even tell if it was time to reapply. So I never repurchased those. Maybe if your kids aren't like in the water a ton, it could work out. My kids are like in and out of the water, rolling around in the sand and just having the time of their life in the summertime. I also like to pack, well, I have got like my toothbrush and toothpaste in here for my Invisalign, but this is a little first aid kit that I pack with us wherever we're going. It's just got the usual Benadryl itch cream, the basics really, I should say, some Band-Aids, sanitizing wipes, chapstick, Neosporin spray, that kind of thing. But I like that it fits in a little pouchy and I can just throw it in. It doesn't take up a lot of space at all, but inevitably I have it when I need it. I'm usually a throw it in the bag kind of gal, but I am gonna try my best to like separate some stuff. So I'm gonna get all the sunscreens corralled. Here's the thing, these aren't all full. Most of them are actually almost empty. If I'm going somewhere and I'm just grabbing one, I'm gonna grab a full one to make sure I have enough. But I should be grabbing all the ones that are almost empty. And then something else I always like to have are these. You put your phone in it and then it keeps it dry. You can go in the water and stuff and take videos and pictures. They work out really great. And then I'll get like a little baggie for all of these sunglasses too. I feel like we need little compartments in here. I'm pretty delusional for thinking that I could keep the white part clean here. I'm pretty sure it's already dirty. But I will show you what I've got happening on the inside. Obviously, I would bring something separate for their sand toys. But for when we go to splash pad and stuff, I do pack just their toys in here. I just normally carry like a little bin of toys. But anyway, everything fits in here. I even have towels down there. I have 5 towels. I usually pack a couple of comfy towels and then the rest are just the camping towels. But the pockets on these sides, they actually hold a ton. I've got the nets in one of them. I actually have the nets and something else, I'm pretty sure. Oh, sunglasses. Yeah, so, and there's 3 pockets. So, I don't know, I think this is a great little find here. So I was clearly pretty heavily influenced by some things that I saw, but this one was just too good to pass up. It is a trunk organizer. But the things that she shared, Life with Lainey, you guys know she's like the woman across the room. She's always coming up with amazing ideas. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna be the woman across the room this summer. This is, not gonna lie, a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. Are these dividers? Okay, what's happening? Ooh, it's nice and sturdy. So this is the trunk organizer. It comes in different sizes. I got the extra large. I figured that would be necessary since I have a lot of children. Oh my gosh, it even comes with a side pocket and then pockets on either side. Just one side to throw even more things in. I just know all summer long when we're out and about, we go somewhere and then our day might progress into doing things that we hadn't initially planned for because life happens like that, which is sometimes fun, but if you're unprepared, then it's like, oh, we're wet right now and we don't have bathing suits, or we don't have a towel, or oh my gosh, everyone's getting bit up by mosquitoes. Let me throw on a little Quitch, a bug bite relief patch. Have you heard of these? Do they work? I'm about to test them out and figure it out because a couple of my children, mosquitoes are just drawn to them. I heard it has something to do with blood type. I'm O negative and they're supposed to swarm me, but I don't really get mosquito patches. There are 27 hydrocolloid patches in here. I will say, on top of having these patches, I'm just gonna throw those right there, why not? What would also be good to throw in here is some itch cream. We've had a lot of ant bite situations happen, especially if you're going to parks. I live in Florida, the ant piles around here are not piles. No, they are ant mansions, and they're red ants, so they bite and they hurt and they swell and they're just really horrible. What good are ants, really? Hey, you know what else? I have these towels. She shared these towels and I was like, that's really handy to have in my trunk. Perfect, the lawn guys are here. Let me get some more supplies. You know what else she shared in here, which I thought was amazing, and I don't know how they work. Oh, because they're frosty heat. I thought it was like an option. You crack them one way, they're cold. You crack them another way, they're hot. No, I'm sure they sell some that are just hot. These are instant cold compresses. So used for a multitude of things. I live in Florida. It's always really, really hot, but it's not the heat that'll get you, it's the humidity. Like I have been outside in some instances where I literally feel like I'm gonna pass out. Not recently, especially when I'm pregnant, that happened to me, but not anytime recently. But anyway, I wish I would have had this available in my trunk to just crack open, put on my neck, just hold up against my body. Even just putting them on my wrists to cool you down, especially if you don't have access to like a water fountain or water or a sink, because a lot of the times I'll just go to the bathroom and like run water on my wrist and that will cool me down a little bit. But anything to get your temperature down, sometimes it's like all you need, throw it on your forehead, like so many uses for these. So I did get a box of 6. I'm just gonna throw these in here somewhere. I'll figure out organization later. And then I grabbed a couple of these doohickeys. They sell these when they start selling back to school stuff. Last year, it was like a hot item and they sold out so fast. I didn't buy any because I was like, what the heck am I gonna do with them? Well, if you bought some and you have an oversupply, because I know some people really stocked up, here's an idea. I'm going to fill one with like some first aid items. It's always nice to keep first aid available for you. It's tricky. Some things cannot be stored in like a heat environment, so to keep it in your trunk. What in the heck? Quick stop. What kind of emergencies are we getting into where I need to control that bleeding quickly? You never know. Really, you never know. And especially with 5 kids, we are honestly, it's a miracle we have yet to experience a broken bone, okay? Because almost every single person I know has. I got some first aid items that I feel like would be fantastic. Oh, I did. Some anti-itch cream right here. I'm gonna have to get some Band-Aids, itch cooling spray. You can see where my mind was. Oh, spray bandage, and then pain, burn, itch. One of my kids asked for itch cream, and I was like, I don't have any, so I really stocked up on that. But having something like a spray Neosporin or a spray antiseptic, my kids anyway, especially the little ones, if they get a boo-boo, they don't want me to touch it, but I need to be able to clean it out. So a spray I have found has worked really well in situations like that. So Band-Aids are always a must. Having some extra chapstick on hand, which by the way, I got this at my local grocery store and it was half the price as what I normally get it for from like Ulta. I was going through my first aid selection. I also came across this little bin. I'm gonna put together like a better first aid selection for us. I don't know. I've got a couple of first aid stations around the house, like the bathrooms, you know. This was in one of them. It's such a joke. Like, why did I even waste my money on this? What's inside, you ask? Nothing useful. Not a single time has this come in handy. You know, I don't know, maybe it has. Got some sterilizing wipes. I guess I'll throw some of those in. We've got some non-woven sterile sponges. That could be helpful. Oh, Neosporin. Okay, you know, I'm just gonna throw all this crap into one of those bins. You can put like ibuprofen and Advil and stuff too. Oh, we've got some gloves. Look, an instant cold compress came in here. It's probably the only useful thing. But I'm hoping to get rid of these. They're bulky and they don't store that much. I actually found some more first aid in the garage and I'm wondering if I can grab a few things out of this container. Would you feel safe if you were wounded at my house and I offered you this to clean everything up with? What? I just got it. It's brand new. I'm unsure if that is mold or what's happening there. Clearly, this has seen better days. I'm gonna try. Ooh, look, a pack of gloves. I wonder if they still have elastic in them. I'm wondering if I could find a date on this. What's your guess? Do you think this instant cold pack still works? It's just crumbling. That can't be good. Shake contents and squeeze. Hold on, the Motrin, oh, most definitely probably has an expiration date. It's actually a lot newer than I thought. It expires in 2013. Perfect. It doesn't actually expire, it just becomes less effective. I also grabbed a little towel. This is a huge towel actually, and I could use it as a blanket if the kids were playing in the grass or something, or a towel that's absorbent if I need to like clean off slides, or it's always nice to have something like this in the trunk. I threw some snacks in this container that the kids will actually eat, but they won't melt. Just got some chicken sticks and fruit roll-ups. I did have those like fruit bars. I can't find them. We must have eaten them all. And then I'm going to throw some sunscreen in here. I feel like we're always needing more of that. some sunglasses. She had like puke bags and neck fans and, you know, the whole nine. I'm just keeping it pretty basic, if you can even call this basic. I think I'm going to fill this up with some like water toys when we're at the splash pad and stuff. But there's a side pocket over here that I think is just perfect for trampoline socks. Some of you had a super great idea to keep these in the car because you never know when you're going to need them, and that will save us $15. I like that. It has a nice pouch on the side for that. You know, I found this little container at the thrift store for like $2, and it comes with a little caddy inside. It's like a mini art bin, what I use for the art bins, or the Play-Doh bin. And I feel like I could just use this for something so much better, but until I can think of something better, this is what I'm gonna use it for. It's just been sitting empty in the garage. Was gonna use it for first aid because I feel like that perfect little container for it, but I don't know, maybe you can share some suggestions. What do you think? Also, what am I missing in here? Beautifully, she also included, she had more of these. I thought I had ordered more, but I guess I just ordered a 3-pack. She also threw in some bathing suits for her kids, which I guess I could do that. There's plenty of space. I'm just gonna put some diapers and wipes in here. Maybe some grocery bags I can shove on the side, but it's looking pretty good to me right now. I actually can't tell you the amount of times that we've like cleaned our car and then ran out just for a quick errand and we've needed to change a diaper. He's still potty training, so oftentimes when we're out and about, he'll have an accident, which is fine, but then we're like stuck in the car with nothing to change him into, so that will be really nice to know that I have in the trunk. All right, there she is. The caddy is nice and sturdy, by the way. I wasn't sure if it was going to be. Let me know what you would add to this, what I'm missing, what you think would be beneficial for me to have stored away in my trunk, rather than just like thrown about the car. Because oftentimes we're like, okay, well, what's in the car? And then we'll dig through. Okay, little snack break, a healthy ice cream option. And it's fun for the kids to do too. I'm gonna throw it together right now. Ooh, these strawberries look really good. I have had these in my closet for at least 2 years, maybe 3 years. I remember pinning this and falling in love with these popsicle molds. So when I found them, I got them, and I just think they're so darling. I love that they lay flat and they're stackable. So I'm gonna make a nice little, ooh, these are silicone too, I didn't know that. I'm gonna give those a rinse and throw together a healthy frozen yogurt, I guess is what it is. I'm just gonna puree some strawberries, mix it with yogurt, and then freeze it. I think the kids are really gonna like it. But of course, with like any popsicle mold, I feel like each year my kids always beg me for popsicle molds. And I bought a few over the years, but the kids have a lot of fun figuring out like different flavors of like ice creams to make for themselves. I'm just going to blend this up. I blended this a little more than I was anticipating, but I think it'll be fine. I was trying to keep a few chunks in there, but this is smooth, which honestly is probably better for the kids. I think they'll enjoy this a little bit more. And then I'm gonna just throw some vanilla yogurt in here. By the way, this combo, I know it's so simple, like literally strawberry yogurt, but it was so delicious. I don't know why I don't eat yogurt more often, but I loved throwing them in these molds and having it as like a super refreshing treat for them, which they think they're having like ice cream. Little do they know they're getting like protein and some fruit inside of them too. So that's really nice. And I love these molds so much. I know my kids are going to create all kinds of ice cream combos, if you will, even though it's not ice cream. We can call it nice cream. I know a lot of people do that. Add some protein powder to it. Maybe we'll get a Ninja and then put it. It's totally unnecessary. Isn't that soft serve anyway? Love how they stack. They're great. I want to make a couple more treats. I didn't go out and get exactly what I needed for these, so I'll figure it out with whatever the heck I have on hand. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to make first. Okay, let me do another quick one. I saw this on Instagram and I don't know if it was rage bait, so I'm gonna do it 2 separate ways. I'm gonna fill a little container up with warm water. Okay, it's like really hot water, and then they just put, they had, their package said melting chocolate or something, but it came in a package like this. And I know putting this in heat probably isn't the best idea, but that's what they did. While that melts, I'm gonna put that aside. I was gonna use my large one, but The raccoons that I live with got into this. And I'm gonna cut up some strawberries in the meantime because I'm gonna make like homemade true fruit a little bit. As you know, true fruit is crazy expensive, so why not just make it at home? My kids love doing that, and then they'll throw it in the freezer, and it's like a fun little activity for them. So if you wanna go ahead and get it started this way, and I don't even know, like you don't have to cut them this small, I think it'll be a little easier to eat. Who doesn't love fruit covered in chocolate, right? Okay, I'm actually gonna do way more than that. Oh my gosh, it is literally so hot. Could have just left this outside for about 5 seconds. I would have had the same effect. I'm gonna scoot the chocolate down just a smidge. I'm cutting the top off. The chocolate inside is all melted. I'm gonna throw some strawberries in here. Like, isn't this a cool little camping trick? I feel like this would be great for camping. Like limited supplies. You know how they have walking tacos? This could be like walking true fruit. I'm gonna kind of squish the chocolate to cover the strawberries in here. And then I'm just gonna fold the top over like so. Give it a little clip. I'm gonna flatten it out and then throw this into the fridge just to let it set. How easy is that? For my next trick, I'm gonna do something very similar, but maybe a little less BPA. And I have this melting chocolate and some melting wafers that have just been in my pantry for a long time. So I'm gonna melt this in the microwave, and I'm gonna cut up the rest of these strawberries. So there is one thing I would change about doing it in a mold like this, and that would be less chocolate. I should have known better, but I didn't. You know, it's the first time I was making these. I love this mold. So many different uses. I've made, what did I make last time? Banana bread or something like that. You can use it for all kinds of things, such as this. But I did add so much chocolate that it was very thick and hard to bite. So if you like, you know, if we sliced it up into thinner pieces, it was nice. Different than true fruit, but I'll just give you that. If you are making these, make sure the chocolate layer isn't like crazy thick. And I should have known. But as I was pouring it in, I was like, I don't know if that's going to be enough to cover it. Yeah, it was plenty. It was more than enough. And I ended up melting even more chocolate to dump over the last 3. Like, I was using so much chocolate. It was like 1 brick per cube in here. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, that was the only downfall of making it this way. But my kids did eat it and they did enjoy it. I will say, if you are doing it, maybe do the higher quality chocolate. She was like, true fruit tastes better. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like maybe buy Ghirardelli chocolate, but then at that rate, you're probably spending just as much money. Well, probably not. Making it at home usually saves you a little bit of money, but when you buy true fruit, especially if it's not from Costco or something, it's pretty pricey, but so is Ghirardelli melting chocolate. So I don't know. Pick your poison either way. The melting chocolates are probably like $6 at my local grocery store, the Ghirardelli ones. But if you get the cheaper ones, I thought I was saving a little bit of money. And the littler kids might not care. But if you're comparing apples to apples, you know what I mean? True fruit to this. Otherwise, it's a nice summer treat, nice and refreshing. The stuff that came out, like the Hershey's bar, the chocolate did stick to me. So I have another super awesome semi-homemade dessert that's perfect for summertime. Only a few ingredients. I did a little prep work. I threw some brownies in the oven. So I made 2 batches of brownies, enough for a 9x13 dish. And I'm gonna make an ice cream cake. Everyone loves ice cream, everyone loves cake. Everyone loves ice cream cake, except for me. I'm not a huge fan, but all of my kids enjoy it and I aim to please. So that's what I'm making right now. The bottom layer for this one is a brownie. You can also do an Oreo crust with a little bit of butter and then let that cool. You guys know, I'm a fan of brownies. So that's what I'm gonna do. I also have 2 sleeves of Oreos that I'm going to crush up. And this will be the Oreo layer for on top of the ice cream. For me, this was always the best part of the ice cream cake. Okay, good enough. So on top of the brownie, I'm gonna throw some ice cream on. This was left over from the summer party and it's chocolate. I bought, I think 3 flavors, cookies and cream, vanilla, and chocolate. Man, really, it's not even ready yet. I've been letting this sit out for probably an hour to get softened. I should have put it outside, but I need it completely softened so that I can spread it across the brownies. Maybe I can kind of smush it. Yeah, it's getting there. Give me a minute. Anyway, this was the flavor that was left over and hardly anyone ate. So I'm gonna throw it into a ice cream cake and I feel like everyone's gonna love it. All right, I've been churning this for long enough. It's essentially soft serve at this point. It's exactly what I'm hoping for because I don't want to make crumble. So I'm going to dollop the ice cream over top and then spread it out evenly. I will say I served this ice cream cake a day or two after I made it. Maybe, I can't remember, maybe a day after. But anyway, I served it when we had a few people over, and boy, was it a hit. I kept asking because I didn't eat it. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of ice cream. I did end up at the end of the night taking a nibble of it, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. I like the layers, the chocolate. The Bluebell ice cream is far superior. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, I don't really know because you can't take my word for it because I'm not an ice cream fanatic. But it was so delicious, and I kept asking people, hey, what do you think about it? They really enjoyed it. The rating the consensus was 9 out of 10, okay? Maybe 10 out of 10 for Alex, of course. But it's really simple. Layer of brownies, then the ice cream, then Oreos, and then the Cool Whip on top. Double up on the Cool Whip. I don't know. That's just my personal preference. And then I did a few squirts of this chocolate syrup in between. You could do caramel or caramel, whatever the heck you like. They have white chocolate too. I get this off of Amazon when we have like ice cream bars, when I put out the ice cream bar. That's fun for the kids. That's another idea. I did it at the summer party and I just had these left over, using it up. All right, let the Pinterest snacks continue. This next one is a s'mores cup. So in the past, in the previous like summer setup videos, I've made some kind of pudding treat. What am I doing? That involved those little buckets with the shovels as spoons. They're so cute. We still have them. And you could totally do that with this. I think I'm just going to use normal cups. I don't know. I haven't fully decided yet. But it is s'mores. And I haven't done that before. And actually you need chocolate. I only have vanilla, but I'm just gonna add some cocoa powder to it. Oh, wow, yeah, I don't know if this will be enough. There's about a teaspoon in there. All right, I'm running low. Remind me to put that on my grocery list, okay? I have Brownie Friday without a little bit of cocoa powder. I'm gonna add a little bit of it to make it chocolatey, but not too much that it is bitter. I'm not sure I have 2 cups of milk, but I'm just making one 3.4 ounce package of pudding, the chocolate pudding. Heck yes, I have 2 cups of milk. Woo! I typically like to go shy on the milk. I didn't this time. Whatever, it'll be fine. While the pudding sets in the fridge, I'm just going to throw 1 bag of graham crackers into a Ziploc bag and crush them up. If you're making like a sand pudding dessert, you can use vanilla wafers, you can use the golden Oreos, but since we're making s'mores flavor, obviously graham crackers is the way to go. We're gonna do a couple layers of the graham crackers, so I'm gonna do 1 spoonful at the bottom to begin with. Maybe a couple of spoonfuls, okay? Maybe that was too much. I'm getting overzealous here. So on top of the graham cracker, I'm throwing the normal chocolate pudding mixture, and then I'm mixing the rest of the pudding mixture with like half a container of Cool Whip, so about 4 ounces of Cool Whip, and then throw a little bit more graham cracker on there, add the next layer, and then on top of this is even more graham cracker. Yeah, a few layers here. And then on top of that, take the rest of the Cool Whip. I did smaller portions, but no, you need more than this. So take the rest of the Cool Whip and grab some marshmallow fluff because, you know, marshmallows and s'mores. Mix that together and it makes like a nicer consistency. And then I threw that on top, and then I topped it with marshmallows and just for decoration, a little bit of chocolate. You can do mini chocolate chips. I'm fresh out. And then some, like I did a little square of chocolate and a little rectangle of a graham cracker. And I thought it was just so fun and festive. And the kids really enjoyed these. Alex ate one and he said it was really, really delicious. And you can take his word for it. It was so good. I didn't eat one. I'm not a huge fan of pudding. It sounds like I'm picky, but I'm not really that picky. I would eat it if it was offered to me, but like, no thank you, you know what I mean? Anyway, it looked really good and it looked really cute, and I'm happy that I put these together. It was a really sweet, nice summertime treat, easy to throw together. All you really need is like just a few ingredients, and then just fancy it up with the layers, and that always elevates anything. And then, you know, shaved chocolate is always one of my favorite little tricks to elevate, enhance, make it look a little fancier. But you could put it in those like buckets with the shovels. My kids always really enjoy those, and you'd be able to get more portions out of it. These are like, I don't know, 8-ounce cups or something like that. something like that. I don't even know. Don't quote me. They could be 4 ounces for all the heck I know. But anyway, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the summer setup and all the little summer treats that I made. If you did and you want more, subscribe, put a little happy in your day, and I will see you next time. Have a happy summer. Bye.